That might be aiming for utopia, and it might mean being a little bit stupid. But that is the way I am. I'm a little bit stupid regarding this type of thing. I'm a little bit of an idealist. I do believe in fairies, and that is my, outlook.
Player, manager, pundit, celebrity, family man, psychologist, pantomime villain. Brian Clough was all of these and more. However, the story of this very complex character had a very simple beginning, on Teesside.
Got great childhood memories, not of riding horses or on yachts and things like that, but great memories of happiness in parks and playing football. A very happy home, working class, large family, 5 brothers, 2 sisters. Academically, not very bright, a bit of a letdown in the family I was. Everybody else made it to the grammar school.
After 3 years of military service, Clough signed for his hometown club. Middlesbrough had a new leader of their attack.
My fondest memories are when I was a player. And I am very happy having scored 250 league goals quicker than anybody else. But I've got to tell my grandchildren I used to be able to play football. Hey, better than Greaves's record. And Jimmy was the best of all.
International recognition followed, but just 2 caps and no goals before local rival Sunderland acquired his services, a move that was to change his life on Boxing Day 1962.
Well, the ball came forward and Brian was chasing and I came out and dived across him, which goalkeepers do, to block the ball. Brian came over the top of me.
I knew it was serious, obviously, because somebody stuck me in hospital. I'd not only done my knee, I happened to bang my head. And a lot of people put it down to the way I've behaved in the last 10 years.
It was the end of his career. It was finished.
You never believe at 27 you finished in anything, do you? Not especially if you're an athlete. And I trained for 18 months, and I managed to get back onto a football field. It was just that I didn't get back as well as I left it.
Clough was influenced by the man who signed him for Sunderland, the disciplinarian Alan Brown. However, it was Brown's successor who gave Brian his first managerial break.
To describe Hartlepool's football club as a tip would be giving a bonus to a tip. Peter Taylor joined me there, but we really were rock bottom. But we got a spirit together. We avoided re-election, which was the norm for Hartlepool before I went there.
People said, oh, he ruled by fear. It was quite the opposite. He took the fear out of football, and they played to their strengths.
After modest results with Hartlepool, Clough and Taylor were recruited by then struggling 2nd Division Derby County. The year was 1967.
I've got my mind set on football. I know how I approach it, etc., etc. Make no difference whether it's Derby County or whether it's Liverpool.
I came 18 months ago from Burton Albion to be with Brian Clough. Brian Clough, the man I know. And I intend to stay with Brian Clough. And I intend to go with Brian Clough to the top of the tree.
7 matches into the season, we made an offer of £6,500 for my services, and I then went to, obviously, negotiate a contract with him. He just said, sign that, it's the best thing you've ever done in your life, so I signed for Derby County.
When he was bought from Hartlepool at Derby, one director said to me, what have you brought us? A splather-footed, innocuous, frail weakling and all that type of thing, which as opposed to the unlearned eye, that's exactly what he was. And it was a typical director's opinion.
Clough rarely took notice of directors, instead relying on instinct and Taylor to secure the talent for success. In Derby's case, Spurs legend Dave Mackay.
All the time I was there, we never had an argument. He never raised his voice.
They were all there waiting for everything until the sun came out, and David Mackay and Willie Carlin was our sunshine.
It's Mackay this time. And it goes!
We've got a lot of character in the side. And if anything is going to win 2nd Division this season, apart from the normal skill and fight and all that type of thing, it's character. And I've got it, I think.
A lot of people you claimed at the beginning didn't really give Derby County credit for winning it, but surely since then you've had your full acknowledgement, haven't you?
There were a lot of silly people that didn't, Frank, yes. The more intelligent ones among you did.
The title triumph proved a springboard that launched Brian from mere manager to celebrity.
What makes me laugh?
I mean, you have a sense of humour, obviously.
I went to see you on Thursday night at Talk of the Midlands in Derby. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Mike Yarwood.
People loved that aspect of him. They didn't know what he was going to say or what he was going to do. And I mean, the things he came out with, they did just spontaneously laugh. You know, they were funny.
We're now not going home and enjoying it. We're not seeing as much football as we should, and we're getting too much of that, and I suggest you shut up and show more football.
I criticised Sir Alf when he was on top. His character now will stand him in good stead because he's a bit of a stubborn bugger.
The Polish women in the corp who used to serve the cheese and the polony and all that type of thing, when I had a go at the... I was doing a lot of television in those days. It was the only time I fell out with them, when I hammered the Poles, when they beat us in the World Cup, and I had to go at the goalkeeper.
That other clown at the other end was...
Yeah, but you keep calling him... Hey, Brian, you keep calling him a clown, but in fact that fellow has made some fantastic saves, and he's kept them...
My portions of polony and cheese dramatically dropped overnight, and the Polish ladies didn't speak to me for ages and ages, but I think they're forgiving me now.
I resigned and they've accepted it. Peter and I are now officially finished with this Derby County Football Club.
Can you tell us why you resigned?
Brian, can you just answer? That is the last question. Thank you very much indeed.
It was just incredible. There was Sam Longson taking the cheer of the crowd in one little area of the director's box, and Clough had sneaked in round the back, and of course the cheers were 3 times as loud for him.
And there in the stand is Brian Clough.
He just had to milk it, and he did.
Clough then left for London and the Parkinson Show, where he was as forthright as ever.
I would love a few chairmen on your programme occasionally. I believe the very sight of them brings the game into disrepute. And every time they open their mouths, it kills it.
Under the old gaffer's watchful eye, Clough saw his first match in charge of Leeds descend into chaos. Clough won just 1 match at Leeds, and after 6 weeks he was axed.
I think it's a very sad day for Leeds. I think it's slightly sad for football.
After 4 months out of the game, Clough was back, and perhaps with a sense of déjà vu, as he took charge of 2nd Division strugglers Nottingham Forest. The dynamic duo did bring success. A 3rd place finish saw the Midlanders promoted to the 1st Division for the 77-78 season.
Brian, he used to come and knock on the door at Middlesbrough, and he used to say, "Is Pete in?" And I said, "Yes, come on in, Brian." And he'd come in and they'd be talking football all night.
How do you react though when someone, you know, from your playing staff comes in and says, "Boss, I think you're doing this wrongly"?
Good. Well, I ask him which way he thinks it should be done. We get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.
A statue of Clough stands in Nottingham town centre, and now the 2 families have successfully campaigned for one of Brian and Peter to be erected outside Pride Park in Derby.
I remember going to a reserve match with them. I remember Peter, you know, hold it, push it, turn it.
Hold it, hold it!
He always came out with a quip to make Brian laugh.
Yes, they did.
And that was good, because you needed, I think that was part of the partnership.
Yeah.
You needed that.
Yeah.
They thought I was going to take over the Football Association if I'd have got the job. And they were right.
The closest Clough ever came was an unsuccessful interview at Lancaster Gate in 1977.
I feel the Football Association should have the best manager, and please don't ask me who that is.
He was a rebel, and that's why he didn't get the England job.
The 2 men met for the last time in an FA Cup tie in 1983 that saw Taylor's 2nd Division Derby overcome Clough's 1st Division Forest.
I must ask you, did you speak to Brian?
No. No, I didn't seem to speak to him, no.
Then poor old Peter died, and Brian had never made it up with him, and I think that had a great effect.
I've missed him. He used to make me laugh. Did he? Hope he's all right.
Having known him, and I think that applies to a lot of other people.
He used to say, didn't he, "I hope I've contributed, and I hope somebody liked me." So, you know, I think a lot of people did, yes.